Over the next 90 days, you will build a daily operating system designed to change how you process reality. This isn't about memorizing facts. It's about training your brain to see the underlying structure of the world around you. To begin, you must go analog. Get a dedicated physical notebook and a pen. Put your phone in another room and clear your workspace of every digital distraction. This protocol requires a strict time investment, exactly 30 to 40 uninterrupted minutes every single day. If you cannot commit to this window, the neural pathways you're trying to build will not take hold. This practice is often isolating. As you sharpen your perception, you will notice gaps in logic and behavior that others ignore. This distance is the necessary tax for a higher level of cognitive clarity. The first drill is deep question isolation. Every day, sit in the same physical space and write one specific personal question at the top of a page. Something like, why do I avoid difficult conversations? You will use the why cascade. Write your first answer, then ask, why is that true? Write the next layer and ask why again. You are driving past your surface-level assumptions. You will eventually hit a wall of mental resistance. This feeling of frustration is a sign that you are pushing your thinking past its usual boundaries. Don't stop. Keep drilling until you find a root cause you haven't acknowledged before. Once you reach a breakthrough, summarize it in a single, clear paragraph. Define the realization and how it changes your understanding of the original question. This drill trains your mind to move past comfortable excuses. Instead of accepting the first thing you think, you develop a habit of driving toward the core of a problem. Step 2 is information weaponization. Most people consume media for entertainment and forget it within hours. You are going to treat every book, video, or article as a source for extraction. Set a daily quota. Extract exactly 3 actionable tools from what you read or hear. If you can't find a way to use the information, it's just noise. Look at how a passive fact becomes a tool. Instead of just noting that people fear loss, you create an actionable framework. When pitching an idea, focus on what the listener loses if they say no. At the end of every week, review your 21 new tools. Pick the 3 most effective ones and visualize exactly how you will use them in a real-world scenario next week. This process turns your memory into an organized library of tactics. You stop being a passive receiver of information and start becoming an operator who knows how to apply what they know. Step 3 is pattern harvesting. Spend a few minutes each day observing interactions in public, maybe a cafe, a corporate office, or a busy park. Sit quietly and just watch. Look for repeated behavioral loops. You might notice someone touching their face whenever they are challenged, or a person who changes their posture when they want to dominate a conversation. Record these strictly as code signals. Avoid subjective words like annoying or mean. Focus on the objective data. Subject leans back and crosses arms when a new topic is introduced. After 30 days, you will have a log of 30 distinct behavioral signals. This provides a baseline of data that makes human interaction more legible and less surprising. By documenting these invisible scripts, you begin to see the structure of social exchanges. You start to recognize when a conversation is following a predictable loop, which allows you to navigate it more effectively. Step 4 is cognitive combat, a weekly 40-minute anchor drill. Pick a polarizing topic you have a strong opinion on, something like rehabilitation versus punishment. For the first 20 minutes, write the most aggressive, logical argument you can for one side. Use every piece of evidence and rhetorical strategy available to prove you are right. Then immediately switch sides. For the next 20 minutes, your job is to destroy the case you just built. Defend the exact opposite position with the same level of intensity and passion. This isn't about changing your personal beliefs. It's about training your mind to be flexible. You are practicing the ability to see the world from multiple perspectives without becoming locked into one. Doing this once a week makes you more prepared for intellectual confrontation. You become harder to manipulate because you have already explored the strongest arguments for and against the ideas you encounter. The first 10 days of this protocol will be frustrating. But if you maintain consistency, you'll experience a shift in breaking down complex problems. By the final month, these habits feel intuitive. Processing information and observing people becomes an integrated part of how you operate. As your perception improves, you will find it easier to influence people and outcomes. This brings a serious temptation to use your awareness to manipulate others for small personal gains. Intelligence is a tool, not a goal. Use your ability to see the structure of a conversation to build better connections and solve actual problems, rather than simply seeking an advantage. The training instructions are complete. Your 90-day countdown begins today. Open your physical notebook right now. Write down today's exact date and definitively define your first deep question. To lock in your commitment, type the phrase, "I choose the mind," in the comments. This is your first act of taking accountability for the protocol. Growth doesn't come from watching. It comes from focused, daily action. Take that first 20 minutes now. See you on the other side.